Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. Hope you all had a productive one. I know that I did. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up today. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and today in an Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with actor Kale Culley from the new hit show on CW, Walker. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In Mississippi news, 2,290 new COVID-19 cases in the Magnolia State and 30 additional deaths. Dr. Thomas Dobbs and other state health officers held a briefing to provide an update on the availability of the COVID-19 vaccine in Mississippi on Thursday. The Mississippi State Department of Health has reported 2,290 new COVID-19 cases and 30 additional deaths. That means in Mississippi, there have been 259,117 COVID-19 cases and 5,668 coronavirus-related deaths in Mississippi since March of 2020. In national news, Biden signs burst of virus orders requires masks for travel. President Joe Biden served notice Thursday that the nation's COVID-19 response is under new management, and he's demanding progress to reduce infections and lift the siege Americans have endured for nearly a year. The 10 orders signed by Biden are aimed at jump-starting his national COVID-19 strategy to increase vaccinations and testing, lay the groundwork for reopening schools and businesses, and immediately increase the use of masks, including a requirement that Americans mask up for travel. One directive calls for addressing healthcare inequities in minority communities hard hit by the virus. We didn't get into this mess overnight, and it will take months to turn this around, Biden said. Despite the best intentions, we're going to face setbacks. But he declared, to a nation waiting for action, let me be clear on this point. Help is on the way. The new president has vowed to take far more aggressive measures to contain the virus than his predecessor, starting with stringent adherence to public health guidance. He faces steep obstacles with the virus actively spreading in most states, slow progress on the vaccine rollout, and political uncertainty over whether congressional Republicans will help him pass a $1.9 trillion economic relief and COVID response package. We need to ask average Americans to do their part, the White House official directing the national response said on Thursday. Defeating the virus requires a coordinated nationwide effort. Biden officials say they're hampered by a lack of cooperation from the Trump administration during the transition. They say they don't have a complete understanding of their predecessor's actions on vaccine distribution. And they face a litany of complaints from states that say they are not getting enough vaccine, even as they are being asked to vaccinate more categories of people. Biden acknowledged the urgency of the mission in his inaugural address on Wednesday. We are entering what may well be the toughest and deadliest period of the virus, he said then. Biden's top medical advisor on COVID-19, Dr. Anthony Fauci, also announced renewed U.S. support for the World Health Organization after the Trump administration had pulled out of the global body. Fauci said early on Thursday that the U.S. will rejoin the UN Health Agency's effort to bring vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics to people in need, whether in rich or poor countries, and will resume full funding and staffing support for the World Health Organization. In more national news, the Associated Press says Republicans grapple with post-Trump future. For the first time in more than a decade, Republicans are waking up in a Washington where Democrats control the White House and Congress, adjusting to an era of diminished power, deep uncertainty, and internal feuding. The shift to minority status is always difficult, prompting debates over who is to blame for losing the last election. But the process is especially intense as Republicans confront profound questions about what the party stands for without Donald Trump in charge. Over the past 4 years, the Associated Press says the GOP's values were tied to the whims of a president who regularly undermined democratic institutions and traded the party's long-standing commitment to fiscal discipline, strong foreign policy, and the rule of law for a brash and inconsistent populism. The party now faces a decision about whether to keep moving in that direction, as many of Trump's most loyal supporters demand, or chart a new course. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, one of the few Republican elected officials who regularly condemned Trumpism, evoked President Ronald Reagan in calling this moment a time for choosing. The party would be much better off if they were to purge themselves of Donald Trump, he added, but I don't think there's any hope of him completely going away. And finally, in entertainment news, inauguration fashion, purple, pearls, and American designers. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris showcased American designers at their inauguration event on Wednesday, and Harris gave a nod to women's suffrage, Shirley Chisholm, and her beloved sorority in pearls and purple. Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Laura Bush also donned hues of purple. Harris has cited Chisholm, a Democrat from New York, as an inspiration for her career. Chisholm was the first black woman elected to Congress and the first black majority party candidate to run for president. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Spiritual energy has the power to transform. Spiritual energy has the power to transform any situation in your life. It carries a high frequency of beneficial energy. When your spiritual energy is present, use it to heal or transform any relationship or situation in your life. To bring your spiritual energy forward, sit in a quiet place and gather a mental picture of what you wish to transform. Imagine projecting a soft white light towards this mental image. Feel your issue melting away, bringing you back into balance. By focusing your energy toward a specific outcome, you create a positive impact on the situation. As you focus, you begin to transform and or heal any of your old wounds. This energy then spreads outward into the physical world and balance into other areas of not only your life, the lives of the people you touch. Today, dissolve disharmony and inspire growth by calling on your spiritual energy and God. And remember, enjoy your day.
As I mentioned, actor Kale Culley is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight, right here on Conversations Daily News. Enjoy. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Actor Kale Culley joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his acting career and what it's been like for him to pursue his goals and dreams. He's now a part of the talented cast on CW, the new show Walker. Here's a bit of our conversation.
When you kind of reflect on these past few years, is that what it feels like you've been able to do, really, to be able to keep reaching for what you want to do?
Yes. I mean, I always had a goal for this, and I've always had just a love and a passion, and I always knew that I was going to be a storyteller of some sort. I really just love, getting to express myself through these different characters and tell all these different stories. And I really just found a love for it that was so unstoppable. I started off in Texas doing commercials, and then we moved to California for I think 5 years, and then just recently got Walker, and before that some previous projects. But I just always found a love for it that was so special to me.
Yeah, and what I thought was really cool about you, as I kind of looked at your career, it's like, especially when it comes to television, you've been on every network, right? You've had something on almost every network out there. I mean, what has that been like for you to be a part of so many great projects over the years?
Man, it feels so crazy. It feels, because as a kid, some people, I was part of those people, as a kid, oh, mommy, I want to be on TV, I won't do that. And then growing up and looking back and seeing that I have been on all these different networks is so crazy. And it just makes me happy that I'm able to pursue this, and that I've been able to get these great opportunities.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this episode of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on Monday with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.